gonna be dragging again.
I've already kicked it.
Morning,
I've already kicked it. Good morning. Hey, morning, Digi.
Digi.
How you doing? Okay. If I can stay awake through the day, through the show today, I guess I'll be doing good. I've been sitting here yawning. But anyway, like I said yesterday at the end of the show, Kimmel was getting his show back. I said that before it was officially announced. And guess what was officially announced yesterday? He is coming back.
He's kind of coming back.
Okay. But one of the questions which he has refused to answer, he's refused to talk to the media at all. Disney's the only one talking to media. Him and his people aren't.
Well, didn't he say I want an opportunity to explain myself, not apologize, but to explain himself? That's what he wants.
I had not seen that, but
Somewhere I saw that. Now it was on Twitter, so you can't take it for shit. But
right.
for some reason, I want to say I saw that somewhere.
Okay. I screwed up here before we get involved into that, because that's going to be a long story. That's going to be a long conversation. This is something that just popped up about a half hour ago. Jim Jordan.
Oh, I saw that.
Okay. Breaking news. Due to our oversight efforts, Google commits to offer all creators previously kicked off YouTube due to political speech violations to return to the platform. Now, I reposted this, so if you want to read this 4-page letter, I'm not going to read it out to you. But I reposted this, so if you go to my X account, you'll find it. All right.
I will post a link to that in YouTube chat.
All right. Kicked off creators can come back. No fact checkers. Community notes feature. And the community notes feature has already started.
Oh, has it? I haven't noticed.
Yes. I've already looked at a couple of them this morning.
Is that going to show up where they put the COVID?
I don't know.
Well, where have you seen it?
I've seen it on a couple of posts down, and it's like they do on X, where the community notes are down below.
Oh, so each comment could be community noted. Okay, I thought the video could be community noted, not the comments. Okay.
All right. YouTube warns that Europe could enforce companies to remove lawful social media content and could risk the freedom of expression within and outside of the EU. That's right. Europe wants to censor you even if you aren't in Europe.
Well, they can censor me over there. They can't censor me over here.
Right. If Google's whole letter to the committee is listed here. All right, and I will copy that link. Copy link. Here we go. And I will post it myself. There we go. That's short link, supposedly short link to it. Okay. And that, I mean, it just keeps going on. You know, YouTube is confirming that Europe is targeting American speech and innovation, yada, yada, yada. And then I'm not going, but the main thing is the very first part. If anybody who was kicked off of YouTube due to political speech, they're going to be offered the opportunity to come back.
In regards to Europe censoring you, China and North Korea already censor you. What's the big deal?
Right.
I mean, what's another country that you're not going to go to,
Or group of countries.
or a group of countries that you aren't going to go to? Well, I would love to go to Egypt and see the pyramids. I'm not going to.
Right.
I would have 30 years ago, maybe. But I mean, there's a lot of places I would bucket list want to go, but I'm not going to because it's no longer safe. So I don't care what they think.
So, but the
Like
but
did
the
you
new,
said, fuck Europe.
yeah, and now I mean, I'm happy that there's a lot of people that are getting back on YouTube that
Well,
were kicked off.
I
There's
I
a lot
will
of people I
go-
hope don't come back.
Well, I feel like that post is kind of misleading, but we also don't know the whole scope of it. If
Right.
you were kicked off of YouTube, you get to come back. No.
No, it says if you're
did
kicked off
state
of you
for
for
political, but how are they going to?
I mean, like Destiny won't be offered to come back.
Right.
All right.
Now, Ethan Ralph won't be offered to come back. But I mean,
No, because he was kicked off for advocating violence.
but I see this as a tool of everybody trying to get back on.
Yeah, I
Because
see a lot.
then they can go, well, I'm being discriminated against. I got kicked off. He got kicked off. How come he gets to come back and I don't? They'll use it as discrimination.
Because you advocated for violence.
In this lefty day and age, you think violence is going to keep them from being kicked off?
Well, hey, I'm just saying,
Hassan is still on.
If you advocated for the murder of somebody,
Okay,
I'm
Hassan's still on.
You're right. Yeah, I mean, I'm not stupid, but I'm just saying, there's some people I hope don't come back because they just were beyond the pale in their rhetoric with threats of violence.
Oh no, I again, I'm over here playing devil's advocate.
Hey, Paul, morning,
Mr. Paul. Second, the fuck Europe.
I was talking to a guy from Germany, a young guy. He was born after I left. So he was even born after the wall fell. And he was like, you mean you were here before the wall fell? Yeah, because I went to the wall. I had my picture taken in the same spot my father had his picture taken.
Oh, nice.
Standing at Checkpoint Charlie. So
now see, that would be a bucket list thing for sure.
Checkpoint Charlie don't exist no more.
Yeah, and to all the commies out there, who ran to whose side? Did they run east to west or west to east? Tell me which side ran which way.
Why was that double wall built? Was it to keep people in or keep people out? See, I advocate for a double wall to keep people out. If you want to go out, that's fine. I don't care. I'm just, I don't want people coming in. People break laws to come into our country. Nobody's breaking the law to leave our country.
True that. I never looked at it that way.
So, that
How people break laws in other countries just to get here.
I somebody made a comment this morning, and I'm rather proud of my response to them. That they say, people who are in our country undocumented, they're hardworking people just trying to provide for their families. They're not thieves. They're not murderers. They're not rapists. I'm like, well, actually, they did much like like a thief in the night and entered our country without permission, as a thief in the night would enter your home without permission. They are helping themselves to products of which they had no right to, much like the thief of a night breaks into your home and helps themselves to products inside your house that they have no right to. Now, are you going to allow that thief of the night that comes into your home to stay simply because they're really good people and just trying to provide for themselves? They just needed to get into your home as quickly as possible, much like an undocumented person, with undocumented in quotations, entered our country without permission.
They're here. They haven't broken any laws. Yeah, they did. They broke the first law of coming into the country. So,
Exactly.
yeah, everything after that is breaking the law. Everything. Oh, he's just providing, and that's breaking the law. He is stealing paychecks from naturalized or natural born citizens.
Or from other individuals who are lawfully here.
Yeah, he's stealing. They are stealing Medicaid, Medicare. They're even using the money that they have stolen. They're buying food that could go to help others that are natural citizens or here legally. But
a lot of that money, though, is going back to Mexico to the tunes of, I think it's about $10 billion a year.
So and it's something like better part of 50% of the people's paychecks are going back.
That's money that's leaving our country forever.
Yeah.
That could have stayed within circulation within our country,
within our economy,
right? So, but I thought that anyway. Going back to X, this Jim Jordan thing, I think that was good news.
Yeah. No, I agree.
I want to see that back. Okay.
I think we're still going to have a whole bunch of BS. Well, an influx of more BS, but I can cope with that.
Yeah. All right, now we'll get back to Kimmel. Now, first thing I want to do, I want to remind everybody exactly what Kimmel said, and I will let it come out of his own mouth. Now, it starts off. I mean, I wish this video was started at the applause so that I had time to catch up, but it starts off with him saying we hit new lows over the weekend.
We hit some new lows over the weekend with the MAGA gang desperately trying to characterize this kid who murdered Charlie Kirk as anything other than one of them. And
that's point one. That MAGA kid was anything but one of them. By the time Kimmel got around to saying this crap, by the time this show aired, it was already known that this kid was not MAGA. He was anything but.
My question is does Kimmel actually write any of his own stuff anymore?
Well, supposedly this he wrote himself. Now he's keeping his opening monologue for his show a secret. But anyway, let's go back. Let's finish.
Murdered Charlie Kirk as anything other than one of them, and doing everything they can to score political points from it.
We weren't trying to score political points. Nobody tried to score political points from the death of Charlie Kirk. The only thing being said about that was that, you know, a leftist killed a man for his political viewpoints, for his social, societal viewpoints, for his religious viewpoints. You and I had that discussion yesterday, and I thought about it a little bit more last night. And I think I'm willing to agree that it's probably equally divided between the three: political, societal, and religious viewpoints as to why Kirk was targeted.
But
Okay.
but because it's so
But they're intertwined.
yeah, but because TPUSA was
A political organization.
exactly a right-leaning or a right political organization, Republican, however you want to phrase it. That's why they're going with the political side of it, because Orange Man bad.
Right.
They won't take the religious side because they know how hard that would hit them. This, even though there is a separation of church and state, this is a religious country. It is. It was founded on
Yes.
religion
I'm
or the
one,
freedom thereof.
as
But
it was
as a
said that
general whole, this is a religious nation. It is not a
That-
uniform religion, but it is a religious nation.
as one person, I've drawn a blank, I'm trying to remember who it was, said the Constitution was written for a Christian country. Without having a faith in the Christian religion, the Constitution couldn't stand. And if you
Back then, yes. Now, no.
and you see, I have to. The Muslims, okay, and Islam does not believe in our Constitution. Our Constitution could not stand under Islam. Plain and simple.
Well,
The religion of Islam and our Constitution is 100% incompatible.
but the Quran is Islam's constitution.
That's why and the way the Quran says that, and the way the Quran says that if you are not a Muslim, you are kafir, and as a kafir, you can be killed without punishment.
Again, we are a religious nation. We are not a unified religion,
So,
nor will we ever be. Hence the melting pot.
But the point I am trying to make, plain and simple, all right, is that most religions are not, other than most non-Judeo-Christian religions.
There is not a religion that is compatible with Islam. None. Zilch. Zero.
And specifically Islam, which is the largest religion in the world, the most practitioners, our Constitution and that religion is not compatible, and only one or the other will survive in the United States. If Islam becomes the majority religion in our country, the Constitution will be destroyed.
I'll grant you that, but Islam will destroy anything. It doesn't matter what or who it is.
Exactly.
Okay. If way hypothetical, if the Hindus decided they wanted to attack America, I don't know where I'm going with this. I get what you're saying, but in today's time frame and with the knowledge that we have, if you were to do away with all religion in the U.S., the Constitution would still work. In the absence of religion, the Constitution would still function. It would still have its very weight. No?
The First Amendment would be gone. Okay. Without the First Amendment,
How does religion give you the right to free speech? What I'm saying is, right today, all religion is banned in the U.S. The Constitution would not be affected. It was based on religion.
okay.
It is so
What I'm saying
construed now
is
that religion is not a part of the Constitution.
if you were to ban all religions, you would be eliminating the First Amendment, as the First Amendment guarantees the right to practice your religion.
But
There's 5 parts to the First Amendment. And one of those parts is the right to practice your religion.
Okay, fair enough.
So now, would the rest of the Constitution be destroyed? There are parts of it that would have to be radically modified. But on the whole, I mean, there's a lot of the Constitution. I would say 90% of the Constitution could stand in a religion-free country. So, I see your point there. But our Constitution, as it's written today, could not stand if you start shattering the First Amendment by banning a religion.
No, you make a valid argument, and I accept that.
So, but I also see your point. I mean, like the Second Amendment is not based upon religion, therefore it would stand. Third, fourth, fifth.
Well, and by banning, I'm not saying it used to exist. I'm saying if you would eliminate religion from the concept of the Constitution as a whole, it would still stand. If religion never existed as a whole, it would still stand. If religion didn't exist, then the first part of the First Amendment would be the religion part isn't there.
Right. There'd only be 4 parts to it.
Right. If you
Okay.
eliminated it, it never existed. That's the point I was trying to make.
Right.
The Constitution would, as a whole, still be a viable document that could be used as a form of government.
Okay. I will grant that. Okay. But the next question would come, though, is would the Constitution, though, even be considered, all right, as all but one of the writers of the Constitution were deeply religious people who felt that, at that particular time, I mean, religion was such a major part of, remember, of the 13 original colonies, 12 of them had the religion written into their constitutions.
Yeah. Oh, and
So
that's
I mean,
part of the reason why we formed was religious persecution.
Right. Religion is so intertwined with the origins of our country, and the Judeo-Christian values
But
are
the
so
fact that
intertwined with the founding of our country, and even with the amendments, equal rights, freeing of the slaves. These were religious people that did this.
Right, but we also have the separation of church and state.
Right. What we have is there is not to be a state mandated religion.
And
Okay.
in all honesty, religion should not be a playable part of politics.
Okay. However, okay. Okay. We're getting a little off track here.
We always do.
This train has really jumped tracks. Okay.
Kimmel's a dick.
Yeah, Kimmel's
Kimmel's a dick.
Okay.
But anyway, he
now
Sinclair, would you watch it? And I'm like, the best I can do is download it and delete it before I watch it. I will see the clipped out parts of his monologue tonight, and I won't care anymore.
Okay. Sinclair Broadcasting will not air Jimmy Kimmel's return on its 38 ABC stations. They're going to preempt it for news programming. All right.
Now, Nexstar owns the show, but Sinclair is the owner of the stations.
Of 38
correct?
Stations.
Okay. I just wanted to be sure that I was correct on who Nexstar was.
Nexstar also owns, all right, and where's this article?
Sorry. I didn't know you have more.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I've got a lot more.
Sorry. I'll shut up.
No. Okay, that's not what I want. That's not it. Get past it. All right. Oh, god damned ad here. Where is the X to close this ad?
Why don't you use Brave browser?
All right, here we go. Because I don't know how well last time I tried Brave to run StreamYards, it did not run correctly. All right, here we go. Nexstar, the largest station group in the country, also has a major merger before the Trump administration with its proposed acquisition of Tegna, creating a mega company with 265 stations in 44 states and the District of Columbia, representing 80% of the U.S. TV households. trying. This is that damn ad that popped up. Let's see if I can. There it is. Okay. Nexstar is also the leading champion in the broadcast industry for the FCC to relax media ownership limits, something necessary to get its deal through regulatory approval. Nexstar also owns 32 ABC affiliates out of its 200 stations. So between Nexstar and Sinclair, that's 70 stations. 38 of which will not, and another 32 which may not. No hardcore decisions been reached as of 2 hours ago, or at least no hardcore statement has been released. Okay, saying that Nexstar is going to air the Jimmy Kimmel Show. So if Nexstar does not air the show, that's 70 stations throughout the country not airing it. Do me a favor, look up how many ABC stations there are.
Okay.
Okay, Paul, you have a good one.
A total of more than 230 stations that broadcast ABC.
Okay, so approximately, okay, so we would say a third if these 70 stations don't broadcast Kimmel's programming tonight, or whenever he does come back on. That would hurt ABC. And I would not put it past ABC Nexstar to say, all right, with the stuff they've got before this government, and hey, it's politics. Nexstar to say, hey, we agree with you. What he said was wrong, and since he is refusing to say he is going to apologize on his monologue, we're not going to air him because we agree with you. Hint, hint, hint.
Hold on just a second.
Okay.
Let me do this again. I hate doing it this way, but I'll do it. Well, that doesn't give me a number though. Sinclair owns and operates 294 television stations. Nexstar owns and operates another 200.
Right, but of those, only 38 are ABC for Sinclair, and only 32 are Nexstar.
Oh, okay.
So, I mean, these companies are, they're, in this market, CBS makes good money. In this market, NBC makes good money. In this market, ABC makes good money. They're not dedicated to one network over the other.
Right. No. But yeah, this was Sinclair saying, no, we're not going to do it. Yeah, it's depending on where their larger market shares are.
Right. So if Nexstar decides not to, that's set, like I said, that's 70 stations. That out of 200 ABC affiliates, that's a little bit over a third of them. That could hurt Disney, who owns ABC. And Disney is also trying to get ESPN to buy the NFL network.
Oh wow, one of those is up here in Seattle.
So,
DC, Seattle, St. Louis, Portland. It's not giving a full list, though.
But Kimmel's got other issues though. So his quota, I'm going to use loose quotes here for fan base. All right. He better not apologize. Translated as Disney announces Kimmel's Live's return to ABC on Tuesday. So that's tonight.
I don't know that he will apologize. I think he's going to try and explain his comments or the reasoning behind the comments, his monologue. And I bet you anything he is going to go, I am a comedian. I should have the right to say anything I want. And everybody's going to go, and your parent company has every right to take you off the air.
And for him to just flat out, he's going to try to tap dance if he says anything about it. First of all,
he's going to have to say something about it.
Well, what I'm saying is, if he gets out there and says anything, he's going to excoriate Trump and any and all MAGA. All right, he's just going to say MAGA.
He's going to double down. Or it's going to be so half-hearted of an apology, even the left will go, "Oh, dude."
No,
I just made things worse.
He's going to excoriate MAGA and taking away his First Amendment rights to say what he wants to say. That's what he's going to do.
Well, you can blame MAGA for it, but you can't blame Trump for it. Trump had nothing to do with it. It was society that had something to do with it.
Well, remember, supposedly the FCC was looking
to ABC. They didn't talk to Sinclair or Nexstar.
And ABC/Disney own Kimmel's show. And if the FCC is talking, which is the part of the administration, is talking to your bosses, the people who own your butt and write your paycheck, and saying, we don't like what he said, and we may fine you for him telling a bold-faced lie, then there's that issue. I mean, if you can tie the FCC to Trump. That's real easy. It's part of the executive branch of the government. As much as people keep forgetting that all these alphabet agencies belong to the executive branch. So, yeah, I mean, I could see him tying it to Trump. You still there? Oh, he muted himself.
Yeah, give me just a second.
All right. So that's the only thing I'm saying here is if Kimmel comes in, Kimmel is mean and nasty enough. He is going to double down on what he originally said. Now he may make a throwaway line about he was wrong about the guy being MAGA, but I think the majority of his monologue is going to be trashing MAGA and Trump.
Well, I think he's going to. I'm not sure how he's going to try and play it, but I think the bottom line is going to be I'm a comedian and I can tell lies.
Yes.
That is part of comedy, is telling a lie. It's also part of acting, which he is an actor, and actors are nothing but liars because they're pretending to be somebody else. But he's going to fall back on, like you said, freedom of speech, and again, I think it was, as 90% of things are in the media, taken out of context. The whole we can do this the hard way or we can do it the easy way, however was said. I think it was taken out of context. But, there very well could have been FCC going, hey, this is a lie.
And this.
And if that was the only thing that was said, dude, that was a lie. You could misconstrue that as, oh my God, he's after me. He's going to take me down.
There are times that, and I've said this many times since Trump's been elected already, and I said during his first administration, there are times that he needs to keep his mouth. And when I say his, not only his, but people that work for him, Pam Bondi, Kash Patel,
oh sure,
JD, the people that work at the FCC, in this case, they need to keep their mouths shut and let the population, let the people do the speaking.
True. And I feel like that is more what happened, is the people.
Right. The people.
And that's what got him pulled, but he is not going to admit that. He is going to double down and say it was Trump because he can get away with it, because 50% of the population hate him.
But
I would say it's less than that, but I'm being as generic as I can.
Right. The reason he's going to be able to get away with it is because the FEC or the FCC stepped in and made comments. If the FCC had kept their nose out of it.
No, because Russia, laptop, no. No, they've been getting away with it for the last 10 years. Come on. They've been getting away with it.
You're not right. You're right. You're not wrong. You're right that they've been getting away with it for the past 10 years. But
why not let it be Kimmel be the example and then go?
Because the media, the left-wing media, ABC News, NBC, CBS, MSNBC, and all of Hollywood, 90% of Hollywood, okay, are all going to be standing on their soapboxes saying, see, we told you we got a fascist in the White House. All right. If the White House, in order to get away, not to take that away from them, take that talking point, we have to take that talking point away from them. And in order to take that talking point away from them, there has to be times these people have to be silent and let their supporters out here in the hinterlands stand up and do their talking for them.
Oh, okay. What do you think would happen? Now, we know it's not going to happen, but what do you think would happen if Trump just went, okay, boom, direct to the FCC, you're fired. Sacrificial employee.
It's too late.
Is it?
It's too late. Trump, if in order for that to have worked, Trump would have needed to do that
Immediately,
or
but he couldn't
he-
have, because I mean, technically he could have, but
or to at least release a statement saying, I disagree with what the FCC is doing. I disagree with their statements. Okay. That
there may still, well,
it's been a week.
Yeah.
It's
Well,
too late.
Has it been a whole week, or was that on Friday?
It's been well over a week. I know it doesn't seem like it's been that long, but yeah, it's been over a week now. I do, or maybe it's just feels like it's been over a week because it's been such a omnipresent thing that I'm going to be honest. I'm tired. I'm tired of this whole mess. I really and truly am. But it's also, I think I'm more tired about being angry about it.
So on September 17th, so 6 days, yeah.
Yeah. I'm tired about being angry over this mess.
Yeah. But we're just going to continue to be angry.
Yeah,
We're
I
going
know.
to continue to voice our opinions to the clouds.
Yeah, that's me. That I'm that angry. I'm that orf out there shaking my angry fist at the clouds.
That's why I phrased it like I did. I'm the guy out there. Get off my lawn.
You know, that's how I started this stream, being that angry guy shaking his fist at the clouds.
Oh, I remember. I was just like, yeah, I feel the same way.
But do you understand what I'm saying? You know, if Trump had come out immediately, even the next day, and said, "Hey, I disagree strongly with what the FCC is threatening to do here, or what they've said," then that would have taken away this idea of this being his administration attacking that little guy on ABC with his little hour-long show.
Well,
because that's how it's being framed.
Again, I said it won't happen, and you kind of pointed it out. It is Trump's ego over being
right.
I hate to use the word slandered, but they do slander him quite a bit.
Oh yeah, they do.
I mean, I hate to say that they're always slandering him, because they're not always technically, because he would fucking go after them. But he has gone after the ones that were the most egregious, and is going after. But yeah,
Now here's another story though. Kimmel's return may not soothe tensions; it could ignite them. According to whispers from within the show's writing team, the host is preparing a carefully crafted opening monologue that walks the line between apology and provocation. He wants to address the suspension head on, but it's not going to be some groveling apology. It's going to be Kimmel being Kimmel, sharp, sarcastic, maybe even a little defiant. The problem, not everyone on set agrees with that approach. Several producers are reportedly worried that Kimmel's tone could trigger another round of outrage, especially if he pokes fun at the FCC or Kirk's supporters. The real fear is that this monologue could spark a mutiny. Some staff feel that they'll be the ones dealing with the fallout if advertisers pull out again. So if Kimmel's not careful, he may end up losing staff.
Yeah.
And see, that article said the same thing you and I were saying before I pulled it up.
Yeah, I thought I had heard that, it wasn't going to be so much of an apology, and I feel like he is going to use his comedic status, which he's not a comedian anymore. He's a talk show host.
Yeah.
He doesn't do comedy tours like comedians do, like George Carlin did. I know because I saw him.
Oh, yeah.
Like Robin Williams did, like Matt Rife does.
Well, Matt Rife's name is pure mud right now amongst the.
Oh, yeah. Oh, and dude is fucking hilarious.
Yeah. But see, but we got pure hypocrisy on the side of the left.
Here. Our founders drafted the First Amendment specifically to protect the rights of citizens to criticize the government. When you cross that kind of societal norm, you must pay the consequence. And firing her was the right thing to do. I'm thrilled that ABC did it.
Was that Roseanne's firing?
Yes.
Yeah.
That, Roseanne said something that the left didn't like, so ABC fired her. Okay. She said something that offended the left. ABC fired her, and Sunny Hostin fully supported that, saying yes, because she offended people. But today, not sorry you're offended. He's got the First Amendment right to say what he wants to say because she liked what he said.
I saw, and I'm barely paraphrasing the tweet, but it was an argument about this very thing. Kimmel getting taken off for what he said, this, that, and the other, and there was just all these arguments going back and forth, and it was basically Roseanne went, "I have entered chat." I was just like, "Ooh, ouch!" It's just like, yeah, Roseanne, exact same thing happened to her, and y'all praised it that she should be taken off, and now the same thing happens to your side, and it is not acceptable. I find it hilarious that Roseanne just wades right into it, not a fucking care in the world.
Okay, but you see, let's go back to 2018. All right. Yeah. On May 29th, 2018, Jimmy Kimmel said on his late night show that ABC was right to fire Roseanne Barr from her television sitcom for racist comments in a social post. And ABC, to their credit, didn't waste any time. They canceled her show today. I'm not a fan of censorship, but this wasn't about free speech. It's about consequences for saying something vile. You can say what you want, but networks don't have to pay you to say it.
Yep, we don't have to give you a platform. You can say it all you want, but we don't
All
have
right.
to give you a platform to say it.
But he needs to be. This needs to be. People need to have signs in front of ABC, in front of his studio, with this quotation on it,
I
to
I
remind him of what he said.
I pointed this out to my wife the other day, and she didn't get it. You will. Right after Kimmel was suspended, SAG-AFTRA was out in front of ABC protesting. Right? The Screen Actors Guild and the Writers Guild.
Well, AFTRA is the American Federation of Radio and Television Artists. It's not the Writers Guild.
Well, I want to say even the Writers Guild was out
Okay,
there.
well, the Writers Guild may have been out there, but
I know SAG-AFTRA was out there. But anyway, the point I was getting was the picture they showed was a lady holding a sign that said, "Hey, I'm marching here." And I'm like, you do realize that that's one of the many famous quotes that go around the world, and that was ad-libbed. You didn't write that. And why was it ad-lib? Because they didn't have the money to legally shoot the film in the city. You would think these people would know this. You're not going to quote an ad-lib and say Writers Guild because you didn't write it.
So, but yeah, AFTRA and SAG, SAG is a Screen Actors Guild. They're for movie actors and actresses. And AFTRA is for radio and television actors and actresses.
Yeah.
Because there are still radio actors and actresses out there.
Oh, yeah.
So they're not as good as the ones from the 30s, 40s, and 50s and
no.
early 60s.
Oh, no.
But they're still out there. There was one on NPR that I used to love listening to when I delivered donuts. Listen to it. NPR had a great radio broadcast at night.
Speaking of donuts, my wife has never had Dunkin' Donuts. She loves their store-bought coffee. She's never had Dunkin' Donuts.
I still prefer Krispy Kreme over Dunkin'.
Yeah, but Dunkin' selection. You can get just about any kind of donut you could possibly think of.
Yeah.
And two you couldn't.
But now there's a little hole-in-the-wall donut shop that's open for 5 hours a day. That's it. They're only open for 5 hours a day unless they sell out, then they close early.
Nice.
So if they show up at midnight and start making donuts. Start making their donuts. They start putting them out hot at about 4 o'clock to catch people going to work. And when they sell out, they sell out. I've stopped by there at 7:30, 8 o'clock in the morning, and they've been closed already because they sold out.
Nice.
And they'll make like 800 dozen donuts.
Oh, yeah.
And they're gone in just a few hours. But their cinnamon donuts, oh my God. I love their cinnamon sugar donuts.
One of my friends online, I don't know if you saw it on Twitter, posted up a cinnamon roll cheesecake.
Mm-hmm.
And we had just been talking about cheesecake. And he was just like, I don't know if I would. I don't know if I'd like it. I don't know. And I posted up the wood meme, the Chinese dude at the microphone. And he was just like, that was not the response I expected.
I would
I
try
would
because
tear into
I
that
like
cheesecake.
I like cinnamon. I like almost anything with cinnamon in it.
Man, think about that. A cinnamon roll cheesecake. Doesn't that just sound glorious?
It sounds like 30 pounds.
To me, it sounds like losing 5.
It sounds like I'd be back on my diet, back on my old diet in a hurry. So,
Dude, I can eat a large pizza and lose 3 pounds.
oh, I'm jealous.
Oh, it sucks, dude. It sucks.
Now,
Been that way my whole life.
oh, okay. But you see, the government now, we're talking about the government getting involved here. Okay. McGovern questions Nexstar over Jimmy Kimmel preemption. U.S. Representative Jim McGovern has questions for Nexstar, the media company, days after Nexstar announced it would replace Kimmel Live on its networks over comments. The Democrat representing the state's 2nd congressional district described the company's decision as alarming.
I would respond with, I don't have to answer your questions. Unless this is a subpoena to appear before Congress, I'm not going to answer your questions as to why I choose to air something.
Yeah. And it was in this article, but it's gone. What did they do? But
I don't know how to use the Wayback Machine.
Supposedly, McGovern there had actually contacted Nexstar. So we'll have to see what happened. See if they're actually now here's the official announcement by Sinclair. Beginning Tuesday night, Sinclair will be preempting Jimmy Kimmel Live across our ABC affiliates and replacing it with news programming. Discussions with ABC are ongoing as we evaluate the show's potential return.
I did a good Google of McGovern and Nexstar.
Yeah.
And the first search query was U.S. Rep. jimmcgovern.gov with the headline, McGovern demanding answers from Nexstar on decision 2. And you click on it and it goes, we're sorry, but there is no document by that reference here.
Yes.
So it was there at one time.
Mm-hmm.
If there is a Google search for it,
it was there.
It was there at one time.
Let me see what Bing shows.
What was it you were looking for?
McGovern, Nexstar, Kimmel.
You were looking for him saying that they had talks, or
okay, one day. Okay, so let's see here. Open that up. All right. Well, here's this. The very first link I had. And this is McGovern. Okay. Congressman James P. McGovern has sent a letter to Nexstar Media executives demanding answers about the company's decision to preempt Jimmy Kimmel Live on its ABC affiliates, just as the company seeks federal approval of a $6.2 billion merger with broadcast group Tegna. So, yep. Huh. Is this fascist? Is this fascism in play here, that a Democrat is questioning a private company about what they're planning on do with their business?
Here, take a look at this in private chat.
Oh, I love this. Okay. The public owns the airwaves, not the FCC chairman. Bullshit. The FCC chairman is in charge of the public airwaves, not Donald Trump and not Nexstar. Local TV stations have the responsibility to serve the public interest, not advance political vendettas. But if it's in their public interest not to show a man who lies about the president or the president's supporters, okay, using the threat of license revocation to strong-arm network and to silence the comedian is not only corrupt, it's also unconstitutional. We need answers and accountability about this authority. This is about Nexstar. Nexstar may, like Sinclair, may make the decision not to air Jimmy Kimmel. They got the right to air who they want to air.
Reading through this document sent to Perry Sook, Michael Baird, and Andy Alford.
Okay. I'm opening this now. I write to you today with urgent concerns about Nexstar Media Group's alarming announcement that owned and partnered stations are planned to preempt Jimmy Kimmel Live and replace the show with other programming in ABC affiliated markets because his broadcast platform was not in the public interest. I'm also deeply alarmed by ABC Television Network decision to indefinitely pull Jimmy Kimmel and his show from the airways. I am more concerned with the fact that this decision came after FCC chair suggested. Now, see, this here's where I got what I said about the FCC chair keeping his mouth shut. Suggested the FCC might revoke ABC affiliate licenses to force Disney to punish Kimmel for comments he made on the show. And you see, and the rest of this is all about the ABC. While private companies like ABC and Disney are not necessarily prohibited from firing someone for protected speech, federal government is, of course, and a private company to do so is extraordinarily suspect. In Brandenburg v. Ohio, the Supreme Court stated the government cannot forbid this type of speech unless it's both directed at inciting such action and likely to incite it.
Oh, it was very close. But yeah, that given Nexstar's decision to punish Kimmel, that just tickled.
I like this. Kimmel did not issue a threat or express an intention to commit violence. He's correct. He simply shared his opinion. No, he did not. That was his opinion. He didn't express that as an opinion. He expressed that as a fact. Because he said everybody else was lying. That was no opinion. He is expressing he stated what he stated as a fact.
Yeah.
Oh, given Nextstar's decision to punish Kimmel for his speech and impact this will have on local affiliates in my congressional district, I feel compelled to reassess whether this company's values are aligned with my own. Oh,
I also like the fact that he had to specifically point out the impact this will have on local affiliates in my district. Don't you understand? This is my district. He had to point out.
Yeah.
And then goes on to go that don't align with me. Values aligned with my own. I'm like, what?
Oh.
What about all of the areas that don't align with your own that will be forced to watch it? Not forced because they don't have to turn the TV on. But if they were looking forward to getting some news in that time slot, then yeah, they're being forced to watch that when they were told they could watch something else. By splitting hairs here.
But yeah, and if you're such a big Kimmel fan, you can find a way to watch that show.
Sure can.
You can watch it on the internet. So, now see, he is doing exactly what he is accusing
the FCC
Trump
of doing.
And the FCC of doing. I thank you for finding this letter. I'm going to say I just downloaded this letter.
I can be of some good sometimes.
Great. I just downloaded that letter. That I am going to be using that in a email later on. Cool beans. Thank you.
Yeah, I do.
Okay, let's see here.
I can pretend we're a team.
All right, so let's see here. And we've covered that. And I've covered that. I'm trying to close out some tabs here.
Sure.
Okay.
I didn't bring anything today other than what I had yesterday, but
all right.
I didn't see anything newsworthy from the time I woke up till 7.
Well, I found some fun stuff here. The left right now is currently claiming that it's the conservatives, the MAGA crowd, who are violent. Right? Shall we listen to this lady?
So look, fuck Charlie Kirk. I'll say it with my whole fucking chest. Fuck Charlie Kirk. That man spread hateful rhetoric. You guys fuck.
Does that sound like a man to you?
Sounds like somebody that takes it up the poop chute.
Now, if you're watching this, there's a good chance you fucking know. If you are paying any attention to my take, you already know. But I think what people don't realize is how much privilege is coming from the people who feel like they're left-leaning, but suddenly, as soon as things get violent, as soon as things get bloody, not me. No, I have too much empathy. I don't want to see that. I don't want to see people hurt. Nobody deserves that. No, some people do deserve that. People whose lives are causing death and harm to others, they fucking deserve it. I hope he's the first of many. Because it's not like our kindness, our empathy is keeping our people from getting killed. It's not. It's not. Like, silence is complicity. I have been teaching a class on just this thing. Like, it's time for minorities to stop being small, to stop being quiet, to stop being fucking digestible. It's time for minorities to rise the fuck up, to fight fuck.
In my lifetime, I've never known anybody who was a self-proclaimed minority to be silent. I have seen nothing but, especially this last decade, we've constantly have the gays in our face, the trans, the lesbians. We have the blacks, the Hispanics. We have anybody and everybody who can proclaim themselves to be a minority. We have even people who aren't the minority, women out there protesting how they're being trampled upon in our society. And women are the majority. Real women. I'm talking about real women, not fake women.
I'm going to go with given where I live, Seattle, are the gays and the lesbians and the bisexuals all up in your face? But I don't see it. The trans, queer, and plus, oh, fuck yeah, they're all up in your face up here. No, I mean, on the day, if I go out in public, I have to deal with it. What you see online, I actually get to deal with. I just don't.
You see,
But the gays, the lesbians, the
CCW.
bisexuals, I don't get it. And they're like, yeah, don't lump us in with that. I don't know why more of the LGBT community are not distancing themselves from this.
You know, I saw a video last night that I didn't save.
I mean, Mark Harlow is one of the few that does.
Of LGB around the world, all in their own languages, of course, proclaiming that they are officially separating themselves from the TQI plus IA whatever.
Trans, queer, indigenous, two-spirit, and whatever other thing you wish to create, because that's the plus part.
That's that plus part. But, you know, these guys are all, you know, they say, I'm gay. I'm not a part of this other section. This one, I'm a lesbian. I'm not a part of these other people. I'm a lesbian. Who says lesbians can't be butch?
I have lesbian friends. I have gay friends. I have bisexual friends. And they are all fucking incredible people. I mean, the dearest of friends.
When the wife and I were still dating, the person she worked for was he was gay. He was one of these gays you didn't know was gay unless he told you he was gay. Okay. But his partner now, 2 miles off, you saw him, you knew he was gay if you saw him 2 miles away. And they invited us out to a party at their house. It was a Halloween party. My wife and I were the only two straight people at that party. And we both got laughs at each other. Me for the lesbians trying to hit on her, and her from the gay guys trying to hit on me.
Sure.
You know, and when we got home that night after the party was over, we were there until around midnight or so, and then we left. Great party, except I got tired of having my ass pinched.
Yeah. I mean, most of the gay people that I have known in my life, I have worked with, and some were openly gay, some were not. They weren't open, but they weren't closeted. You know, if the topic came up, then they didn't shy away from the topic, and everything in between. And it's rare for me to say that every gay person I have worked with, gay, lesbian, bisexual, every one of them that I personally have ever worked with have been great people. I mean, to the point that I would become friends with them. And there's a lot of people I work with that I do not like. And it really, I say it's really unusual for 100% of the gay people I work with became friends of mine. That's unusual.
Okay.
And I've worked with one guy. I take that back. There was one guy that was right on. God, this
Came back, and sometimes fighting is messy.
No, you go ahead. I'm trying to think of a date.
Well, I was changing screens back here, and it automatically started playing.
So it would have been 2008, 2015-ish when this employee started wearing a dress and started wanting to be called something else and was on the leading edge of the use my pronouns. And I personally was having none of it. I'm like, no, I interviewed you as this person. That is how I am going to treat you, as this person on this document. I don't care if you change it. That's the document I hired you as. You are an employee. I do not have to respect your pronouns. You work for the company. In other words, you work for me, and I don't have to play your games. His name was Steve. I called him Steve. Everyone else called him whatever other name he wanted to be called.
Yep. But this is just showing the violence of the left here. I mean,
oh yeah,
she's complaining about how her and her people are suffering under violence.
I want to know all the dead trannies.
Yeah, that weren't killed by other trannies or gay lesbians.
No, I know. I sure would like to know the number, because they keep saying all of us keep getting killed, but they never give you a number. By the hundreds. All right, how many hundreds? There's a span of 900 or 899 if it's by the hundreds. Give me a number.
Okay. Let's see here. Now we're going to jump subjects again here for a little bit, and then going to call it here. Ohio school official plots to help alleged transgender student to bypass locker room law. Now, Ohio is one of these states, thank goodness, something sane out of that state for a change. It said you've got to use the restrooms and locker rooms and etc. according to what is on your birth certificate that was signed at your birth. Not any redos or anything else. Your original birth certificate. So Ohio's legislature chose to safeguard women and girls' sports and private spaces last year, overriding Republican Governor Mike DeWine's veto. And DeWine's going to pay for that. But some educators are still looking for ways to let biological men into private women's spaces and activities in the Buckeye State, like girls' locker rooms and sports teams. This is the case with Princeton City Schools Assistant Athletic Director Tamet Duckworth, who was recently visited by the Accuracy and Media undercover investigators. They're taking a page out of Project Veritas, the original Project Veritas, and
Yeah.
James Keefe.
Yep.
And I'm glad to see it. We need more of this. We really do. Duckworth strategized with investigators on how to help an alleged transgender student get away with using female facilities and signing up for athletics. In fact, she encouraged the investigators to have a biologically male prospective student change in the girls' locker room discreetly. She advised enrolling the student with an updated birth certificate and not mentioning that they were biologically male when prompted by the AIM investigators. I'd say whether it's at Princeton or another school, I would suggest that, Duckworth told them. When asked if the student would be fine so long as no one learned they was transgender, she said, yeah. If somebody did find out then, especially if somebody did find out then, especially if I said somebody named Karen, Duckworth laughed and trailed off. However, she must have realized how that sounded as she quickly apologized and told Ames investigators, I shouldn't be saying this. In 2024, Ohio passed laws banning biological males from female sports in K through 12 and college, and requiring students to use facilities such as bathrooms, locker rooms that align with their biological sex. Despite these laws taking effect, Duckworth was more than willing to help an alleged prospective transgender student to overtly breach female spaces. Okay, I will play a little bit of the video. I don't want to play too much because I don't want to get in trouble.
If you've already changed the birth certificate, and if it doesn't say how she said it, born male,
Right.
if it doesn't say that on there, then I'm not sure I would disclose it.
So she should be able to use the girls' locker room.
I mean, I would do that as long, a bit discreetly.
Yeah.
Because I'm curious what it's going to be. I mean, I have half a mind to just enroll her with the updated birth certificate and just, not mention it.
See her smile? Watch Duckworth smile when she's saying that.
I started, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm glad you asked her because I'm curious what it's going to be. I mean, I have half a mind to just enroll her with the updated birth certificate and just, not mention it. Yeah.
You know, she smiles and nods, like, yeah, that's a good idea.
Okay, so then my question would be, is she going to be comfortable with that?
Yeah, she wants to be seen as a full female. Yeah, that's what she is.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's.
I just don't know, would she share it with anyone? That's, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right.
What, like whipping her dick out?
Yeah, like showing off her. Wouldn't it be kind of strange? Think about this. And I mean, we all know, I've known women my whole life. Women know when other women are on their cycle.
Monkey said something the other day that I had never heard before, and I thought I was going to hurt myself. It was some person, and Monkey said something to the effect of, nice camel hump you have there, instead of a camel toe.
Right.
I about lost it. I'm like, how have I never heard that before? And if I had, how do I not remember it?
But so now think about those. You got a high school student here or a college student. These women would know, wouldn't they find it suspicious that that one female player never seemed to be buying pads or tampons?
But
because they know when each other go
when,
on their cycle.
You've seen the video of the twats pretending to have cramps, and
Oh,
so why wouldn't they see somebody walk over and grab a pad, and just to go through the motions of, oh, I'm a female, I have to go buy a pad on this day every month. I have to waste money on this every month to pretend. And if they did get their willy lopped off and a cavern carved in, then, oh, I have to put in my dilation. I pretend it's a tampon.
mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah, but they got to do that every day.
but no, I get where you're coming from. That yes, that women around each other all the time tend to learn when
Mm.
the other's cycles are, or at least have a ballpark idea.
If their cycles, if they're not around so much that their cycles don't sync up,
Right.
that is something that also happens.
Yes. Absolutely.
So, but you see, it's just not Ohio that's done that.
No, there's a lot of states that have done it, but
Okay.
they're going to continue to circumvent it, just like they're trying to circumvent all the DEI stuff. And
University of Northern Alabama 2-year plan to disguise DEI before the law planned it. University of North Alabama was slowly and incrementally disguising its vast diversity, equity, and inclusion programming for 2 years in anticipation of the state's DEI ban signed last year. We have known the bill was in the works for a long time. And and that's why 2 years ago it dissolved into just officers, and then it was like, and then they will do the title change, and then it was kind of slow, so no one really noticed. According to her, each of the university's colleagues had a DEI director, which had been changed to multicultural something or another. The bottom line, Berger said, nothing changed.
well, now that you've pointed it out,
Yep.
Even if their DEI office was a person of one, that person didn't get fired. They just got moved. Students are still getting resources that they need and services that they need. It's like they call the same thing. Visually, what you see is that it's gone, but really nothing really changed. Right.
So visually, what you see is that it's gone, but you said that the work continues. Is that true?
Say that UNA has done a good job at like still keeping the resources. Yeah. And I would say some of our sister universities like UAH in Alabama, like even if their DEI office was a person of one, that person didn't get fired. They just got moved. Gotcha. And title change. And
So it wasn't just one college, it's all these colleges worked together to brainstorm ideas how to keep DEI in place after it got banned.
yeah, let's spend more money trying to hide it than it's worth to keep it.
And
And it's also
following
against
the
the
law.
law. So yeah, let's spend
And then-
more money so we can cost more money to come here, so we can indoctrinate you into something that's not going to make you money, so you can't succeed, so you don't have kids because they won't. Yeah,
and let's
I'm
complain
sorry,
that
I'm
there's-
connecting dots to the downfall of human society.
and let's complain when the state starts cutting our budgets. I'd come up with this idea a couple years ago, and I really wish a state would do it just to see what happened. Go to the colleges, because their records are open books. They had, the records, other than a private college, if it's a public college, their financial records are open books. especially to a state auditor. Had the state auditor go in and actually get the exact dollar amount of all their DEI programs. Their gender, how much do they pay that professor? How much are they paying, are they supplementing that course by?
Yeah.
Course materials, the administrative staff, okay, the support staff, their DEI enforcers up at the chancellor's level, the board of directors level, all these people, then cut that school's budget by that amount.
Yeah.
You guys spend $5 million a year on your DEI programs and your gender studies and race study courses. Fine. We're going to cut your budget by $5 million. We're not going to give you $5 million. We're cutting we're cutting your funding. Just to see, how they would react and where, what would they do? Would they cut those programs? Or would they cut other programs to continue to support them?
Yeah, well, I'd like to see the whole of the American country go, you know what? We're not paying taxes this year. Just everybody go, no, we're not paying taxes. They can't put us all in jail. They can't garnish everyone's wages. I mean, they could eventually, but I doubt they could garnish everyone's wages in a year.
Well,
and it would just take 1 year for them to go,
I got a question for you. When is the last time you wrote that monthly or quarterly check to the IRS?
It will be December.
December will be the first time?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
And it will be every time from now until I die. I will have to do a quarterly check to the government.
Okay. People like me, and the vast majority of us, our taxes are automatically withheld. We got no choice in the matter because our employers or federal agencies withhold the money.
I know how it works. I'm just saying it would be cool.
It'd be kind of difficult for 90% of the population or 85% of the population to say, no, I'm not paying any federal income tax this year, or state income tax, or city income tax. Because all that's taken out of our checks before we ever see our check.
I get you. I'm just saying it would be cool. If everybody in the country just 1 year could say, you know what, we're not paying taxes. Just 1 year is all it would take. Yeah, it would collapse the government, but it would also make them go, shit.
Now I did like what Texas did to the politicians, to its Congress critters there that ran out of the state. Because it's against the law not to pay their state legislators. So they said, fine, we're still going to pay you. However, we're not going to do our direct deposits. You're going to have to come and pick up your physical paycheck at this office.
Right.
Hey, if your paycheck's here, if you want to get paid, come and get your check. And when you come pick up your check, expect to be arrested.
Yeah.
But you do have to come and bring your ID to prove who you are. You can't send in your brother, your sister, or your spouse to get your check.
Or one of your staff members.
Right. It has to be you yourself in person with your
ID.
ID.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, that remind me back of the very old days when in the military, when you picked up your pay, you picked it up off the drum.
Yeah.
The paymaster would sit there and have you sign for your pay, and they'd put it on a head of a drum, and that's where you picked up your paycheck, your coins off of the head of that drum.
55-gallon drum.
No, a drum.
Oh, really?
Rat-a-tat-tat. Yeah.
Oh, really? Huh.
Mm-hmm. Revolutionary War, etc. That's how you picked up your pay.
I did not know that.
Symbolically, you were, because that, each unit had their own, only had one drummer. So they, you were swearing your allegiance to that unit when you picked up your pay off that drum.
When the bicentennial came around.
Yeah, I remember the bicentennial.
Oh yeah.
I've still got bicentennial quarters or bicentennial dollars.
I will not take a $2 bill that is newer than 1976.
Really?
Nope. I will collect anything older than 1976 and back. And I have probably 300 $2 bills.
And why is that?
I just like them.
Oh, okay. I thought there was
bicentennial is, to me, was so significant. It's just one of those things.
Okay,
but in school, we obviously it was a big to do, and we were doing the reenactments, the guy, the drummer, the flag bearer, and the fife.
Yep.
And I was the drummer.
Ah.
I made my own little drum out of a ice cream, 4-gallon ice cream bucket that you get from Baskin Robbins. One of their big tubs. I used that, painted it up to look like a drum, and had real drumsticks. Yeah. We did it upright. We celebrated correctly.
Yeah, my little hometown had huge all weekend festivities at the elementary school. And the mayor and the chief of police and everybody got up there and said their spiels, and food was everywhere. Being a farming community, a lot of fresh corn.
Yeah.
And chickens that were in the hen house the day before.
I don't remember where I celebrated 4th of July, 76.
Believe me, I remember it being at the elementary school.
I want to say
on the ballpark.
I want to say we spent it in Georgia, because that was right around the time that I had the tumor removed off my leg. I had to go to the hospital and spent the night. It was the first time I was in surgery. My brother was away at Boy Scout camp, and that was usually in July. But I can't remember. For some reason, I want to say we had gone up to Illinois. I don't know. I'll have to go through our old annuals when I get home. Our old photo albums. Old annuals. Damn.
Now, you know how I've proclaimed that students from foreign countries who are here on student visas, they really need to keep their mouths shut.
They have zero rights.
Keep their heads down low, and because Marco Rubio is going through and finding students and canceling visas.
You have to respect our laws, and not all of our laws pertain to you because you are not a citizen.
Here's a young lady that has not learned that lesson. So this young lady, Zara Raven, is in the U.S. on a student visa and studying at UPenn. Chanting globalize the infodata.
I think everyone there should be rounded up. They should be checked to see if they have a visa, and if they do, they should be deported. And no other questions should be asked. Just here you go. We'll foot the bill. You're gone.
Excuse me. Sadly, so many of them though have got their faces so well covered you can't tell who they are. There's like this guy here. He's definitely an American citizen by the looks of that.
You can get enough officers to surround this area and close in and arrest everyone there.
But yeah.
Find out who they are. I need your name. Okay, you don't want to give us your name? Well, we'll detain you until we find out who you are.
Right now, I'd just be happy in the aftermath to see, read in the newspaper that Zara Raven has been deported.
Sure. Would love to see it.
Yeah.
And she's not a student. She is a professional insider.
Yep.
She's not a student. She's just there pretending to be a student.
Here's another one of these so peaceful Democrats.
But I do have to give Tim Walz credit for saying that we need to be meaner, because a lot of you need.
Oh, who was that she was giving credit to?
But I do have to give Tim Walz
Tampon Tim.
Isn't he one of the Democrats out there saying that the right is too mean?
We need to turn the temperature down.
Yeah, isn't he one of those?
That we need to be meaner, because a lot of you need to be meaner. Of course, that's what you're saying. You leftists just want to bully everybody. Yeah. In this case, yeah. If you're still walking around with a MAGA hat, yeah, I fully intend on bullying you, and I don't feel bad about that. But I do have to.
And, our Congress really isn't much better. The Democrats in Congress. Okay.
She can bully all she wants. I don't care. She touched me or my hat, then, there are consequences.
They keep wanting to compare the reaction to Charlie Cook's murder to the reaction of the Minnesota lawmakers that were murdered by another leftist. Okay. 424-0 was the vote condemning the attacks on the Democratic lawmakers. 310-58. Those 58 are just the ones that voted nay, not including the ones that abstained. If you include the ones that abstained from the vote, it's 95.
Okay.
So
playing advocate over here. Resolution condemning attacks on Democratic lawmakers, as
okay.
opposed to resolution honoring Charlie Kirk.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
Honoring, condemning.
Ouch. Okay, yeah, I see.
Democratic lawmakers.
All right. Okay, I see the
Come
difference.
on. You couldn't be more skewed than, and this is Fox. You couldn't be more. Did everybody condemn Charlie Kirk's killing? We don't know. We're only told 58 people did not want to honor him. That's fine. Not everybody agreed with Charlie Kirk.
You want to know something?
Everyone agreed that killing was bad.
You want to know something? You caught me, because I did not catch that. I did not catch the difference.
Yeah, I mean.
All right, that slid right past me this morning when I saw this. So you got me.
I mean, you couldn't be more skewed on that. I could see both of those numbers being accurate. And how could you say that they had any relation to each other? One is condemning, one is honoring. Those are two totally different things that cannot be compared, yet that's exactly what they're doing.
You're exactly
no.
You're right. You're right.
I'm not you. I'm bitching at them.
I don't miss that distinction very often, but I sure missed it there, didn't I? I'm usually a little bit quicker on the draw to catch that kind of, because I always look for it. I always look for the inconsistency, and I missed it there. And that was a glaring inconsistency.
And again, my wife is a Democrat. I have to see these things, and I have to point them out to show her that I'm not above or not below criticizing both sides.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I spent half of today criticizing Trump and his people.
Yeah. I mean, but again, I'm just like, how can you compare these two things? It's a non-comparable.
Yeah, you're exactly right. As soon as you started to say something, I caught it, and I was like,
one
foot and mouth all the way up to my kneecap.
But yeah,
foot and mouth all the way up to my knee.
And again, not you, but come on, people, be better.
Yeah, definitely.
Don't allow them to trick you.
Definitely, people, be better. All right.
Allow it.
We're going to go ahead and end the show here because I've got to work tonight.
Yeah.
And yeah. And that means I try to get to bed about 4:00 and try to get a few hour nap in before I got to go to work. Because going from getting up at 4 a.m. to getting home from work at 7 a.m, that's kind of rough. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And when you only do it once or twice a week.
I couldn't have that varied a schedule. And I couldn't have a third shift job. No.
I've worked every shift there is to work, and I think my absolute favorite shift I ever worked, I think I've said this before, was when I worked correctional custody. 3 days on, 3 days off, 12-hour shifts.
Ooh, that
And
sounds.
they were rotating 12-hour shifts. You work 12 nights, then 12 days. So it was a 6 to 6 shift. So you were either working 6 at night to 6 in the morning, or 6 in the morning to 6 at night. And like I said, they were rotating shifts. But 3 on, 3 off. That was absolutely the best shift work I ever had, especially when I worked the night shift. Because just other than when I caught the guy wearing nothing but a pair of purple socks underneath a woman's bed, she was being discharged. She was in transition flight, and she had to spend a few weeks in with us. And basically, all we had to do is make, during the day, she was under her lawyer's supervision. But at night, she was under ours. And one night, Sky Cops called up, and I was there, and they said, yeah, we saw somebody sneaking in through the window at this end of your building. I said, okay. Well, the only person we had down at that end of the building was this young lady. So I went down, knocked on the door until she answered it, and I said, okay, who came in through your window? And she said, nobody. I said, you sure? And she goes, yeah, that's fine. So I started, searching the room. First thing I did was lifted the bed. Nobody, and these are the old military cots.
Right. Yeah.
The military metal beds that you have like in basic training.
Uh-huh.
So, very easy to lift.
Sure.
And I, lifted both beds in the room. Nobody's in the bed. And I said, okay, open the lockers. What do you mean? Open the lockers. She opens the first locker. I look in there, nothing. I said, open this one. Well, I've got my underwear in. I don't care. Open that locker. She opens up that locker. This guy's standing there wearing nothing but a heart on and a pair of purple socks. So I make him give me his ID, tell him to get dressed and come down to the office. Because he ain't going nowhere without his military ID. And I get all the information off of it, and I write up my official report. I call the Sky Cops and give them all the information. And it's like, what they look him up, tell me what duty section he's in. I say, okay, fine. I'll be sending a report into his commander and first sergeant in the morning. And he comes down, and I tell him, okay, you need to report to your first sergeant at 0700, yada, yada, yada. And you, for now on, if I catch you on this side of the street, I don't care where you're going. If I see you on the sidewalk in front of this building, behind this building, alongside this building, I will have you arrested by the SPs. You will cross the street for now on. Yada, yada, yada. And doom, doom, doom. Okay. That's not the end of it. About 20 minutes later, she comes down wearing a man's shirt unbuttoned to the belly button and nothing else. And she leans over the desk. Is there anything I can do to keep you from reporting my boyfriend? Yada, 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 yada. Well, see, unfortunately, I'd only been married about 3 months at the time. So I wrote her up for that and turned her in for bribery. For attempted sexual bribery, indecent exposure, and what else did I put in there? Anyway, and that lengthened her stay on base to where she actually got sent. She was given an additional court-martial because she was still active duty. She wasn't civilian until she actually left the gate. She'd already been court-martialed once. She ended up with another court-martial, and this time she got 90 days in jail instead of a discharge. So she got to do 90 days in Navy brig. And then she was discharged from there.
All right.
Such is life, you know?
Yeah. Well, we are at the 2-hour mark.
Yeah, I do got to go.
I will sidetrack you yet again. So I am going to say, Shroom, you need to go.
Yep. Y'all have a good one. Enjoy yourselves. I don't think anybody's here because Digi left.
And
I
Paul
think
left.
and Paul left. I think you're the only one signed in on YouTube.
Yeah, I've got the chat up over there.
Yeah. So yeah, you're the only one. You're the only one. Our only person that's been listening for the last 2 hours.
Well, that's fine. That's
last
fine.
hour and a half. But anyway, all right. We'll catch you later. Thursday at the earliest, because
All right,
unless
sure.
something earth-shaking happens, I will not get out of bed tomorrow to do a stream.
Yeah, no worries.
7 o'clock comes around damned early.
Yeah, I might try and experiment, seeing what I can do with my tablet. See if I might be able to get that paired up, so to speak, and maybe I could even do some pop-ins while I'm on my adventure down south. Send some pictures and stuff like that.
I know I've done it off of my cell phone a few times. I've actually done a stream from my cell phone during the hurricane. Before Verizon went out, I streamed from my cell phone.
Yeah.
Then once Verizon's tower went down, it was like all over with.
Yeah.
I had no communications for a while.
All right, there we go again. Sidetracking the conversation.
All right, y'all have a good one.
All right.
Later on.
See ya.